A few weeks ago, the Brawlers all took on the big robot, but now it's time to rematch with the power of Wasabi. Shelly starts us off already with a massive change to her time. Not only does the circle super reduce her super's count from 11 to 4, but it also allows her complete super to just instantly recharge it. She now does it in under 2 seconds, and this puts her in the top 10. Nita quite simply gets double the amount of work done with double the bears. Even in the initial trial, most of her work was done with Bruce anyways, so her impact of her regular attack didn't really matter. 15th place. Bolt made zero difference here whatsoever. He could have just fired from further away or behind the wall, but he didn't because I'm just not fancy like that with him. 23rd place. Bull is now able to recharge his super with every single attack, allowing him to begin a pattern between constant attacks and supers. With this, he keeps constant pressure on the bot and he's able to take it down fast enough to get 27th place. Brock makes a pretty okay impact where he's able to do over 6,000 damage with his initial attack, all before pushing the bot up against the wall and blowing him to smithereens. With this new time, Brock got 14th place. El Primo, he jumps fast, and even faster, with Wasabi. But the flames, they don't stack, so he gets 30-second use code Jimbo. Despite already being slow, Barley's Wasabi power significantly upgrades his ability to bring down the bot. Now, each attack fills 3/4 of his super, and he's able to apply constant pressure to the bot, reducing his time to 12.25 seconds, placing 20th out of the 60 powered brawlers. Poco had a bit of an issue. His Wasabi power literally made him worse. Even though it looks cool, Poco's Wasabi power does nothing to his offense. For you, that means you have to watch another sped up clip. For me, that means I had to record Poco dealing 100,000 damage yet again and totally enjoying every second of it. Because believe me, there were a lot of seconds. He got last place, and I know that before I even made the spreadsheet. Rosa has the smallest possible change that was technically still a change. Now with her Wasabi power, she's able to actually use unfriendly bushes for a whopping 276 damage every now and then. Game changing. She got 53rd place. Jessie has a massive change to her time thanks to Wasabi Scrappy being able to shoot way more projectiles, especially when you see that heavier rate can stack with recoil spring. She wipes out the bot insanely fast and now places herself in 19th. Tick has his capability sent through the roof as his hyper supers average a total of 40,000 damage on the bot. This and his Rain of Mines enables him to wipe the bot out in under 3 seconds, and he of course places in the top 10. 8-Bit comes prepared with a bunch of hyper supers on the ground, and once ready, they all fire at the boss with him, and interestingly enough, they help him refill his hypercharge. He'll always be one of the best brawlers at these challenges, and he got 12th place. Rico doesn't really have all that great of an impact. His balls can only touch the boss once, and this kinda limits him, but he's able to slightly benefit off of his really long bounce range. 13th place. Penny has a pretty huge difference with 2 cannons, especially since they can shoot double the bombs thanks to her hypercharge. She's initially able to do 10,000 damage per attack, and the nuclear rain from her 2 cannons also helps her crush it. Penny gets 16th place. As shameful as it is, Carl moving really fast doesn't matter when he's attacking a stationary target. He still has a good hypercharge though. He takes down the bot in 16.65 seconds, placing 29th. Since the last time we did this, Gus unlocked a Wasabi power and a hypercharge. However, the hypercharge can't maximize its own damage off of the bot, so he just stacks up spirits, nukes them, and then hits the bot with some of his hyper projectiles. Either way, his time improved to 32.05, and he now got 48th place out of 60. Bo was my favorite one to do ever. He needs 6 supers to get the job done, but what's better than 6 supers is 111 Bo supers waiting to nuke the shade out of the bot. This literally lagged my game. Here's it again. Bo got in the top 10. I just wonder where this time puts him. Stu had this operation done before the balance changes, and unfortunately for him, that means he was worse than what he could have been. Either way, I tried, and this was the trial I ended up keeping. With this, he took roughly 37 seconds and got 50th place. Piper uses her hyper super and takes away quite a bit of the bot's health, and then after that she's able to provide infinite pressure thanks to snappy sniping and 2 shots, and just tears the bot apart. Well, she did it in a time that got her 25th place. Pam's Wasabi power does absolutely nothing for her in terms of damage. But luckily, I have Egg Pam, so it kind of balances out. She took long enough to get 35th place. Unfortunately for Frank, the big robot wasn't under the covers during his attack, so the main benefit of his sushi power didn't really play a role. So yeah, he didn't get any gains. Frank got 51st place. Bees Angry Bees release more Angry Bees upon impact, but if you get too close, it just stops. So I picked some middle ground point and let it do its thing. Definitely not the worst impact, but also not the best. She got 41st place. All Edgar's super did here was look cool because I did it from comically far away. It didn't actually do more damage or anything, and even worse, he still heals away his damage gear. Shame on him. He got 45th place. Colette's already super fast, but the extra support she gets from the little love notes spamming all over the place was kind of fun. She obviously got in the top 10. Wonder what her new Wasabi power could have done. As cool as Belle's Wasabi attacks look, they don't actually help her. If this was a swarm clearing contest, that would have been a different story, but it's just not that, so like, yeah, she got 55th place. Ash had a fun one. His Hyper Wasabi Rat Swarm made this place look like the subways of New York City, and the endless amount of pressure made Ash able to rip apart the bot in just over 8 seconds, and he got 11th place. Lola's 2 egos made a pretty solid impact on her, but unfortunately, Improvise only works with her attacks and not theirs. Given that that's the case, she took 14.5 seconds and places 24th out of the 60 brawlers. Hank is unfortunately not able to receive damage, so I just told him that whatever he ate must be toxic and poisonous. He luckily complied and started taking a lot of damage. With the help of this mythical poison, Hank did it in less than a second and got somewhere in the top 10. Pearl staying the hottest she possibly can made a humongous impact on her damage dealing abilities, as she could almost fully murder the bot within the first hypercharge. Regardless, this heat made her a lot more fun to use, and she took it down fast enough to get herself 22nd place. Angelo had a pretty big impact on his damage dealing capabilities, even though he still has to wait to charge his attacks up. Either way, multiple supers do stack, so with that being said, he could get a couple supers on the ground and speed up his time a little bit. 17th place. Barry didn't receive too much of an impact from his Wasabi power, given that ice cream puddles don't stack. So he just had to continue doing the same pressure he'd always do, and he got the bot down fast enough to get 34th place. Shade's Wasabi power does absolutely nothing to enhance his damage output, and so he obviously does pretty bad. It doesn't help that his super does 0 damage as well. Shade gets 52nd place. Meatball gets a huge impact from his Wasabi power, but unfortunately his super itself doesn't actually do damage, so his really fast super recharge has its effects to the minimum. Either way, he was almost in last place without the Wasabi powers, so 40th out of 60 brawlers isn't all that bad. Mortis gets an additional 1500 damage every now and then. Aside from that, he's pretty much the same old vampire. Also, I wrote this while I was listening to a song called Vampire. This dude got 54th place. You know what they say, mo shadows, mo problems. Wait, no one says that? Okay. Well, she got a lot of help here. She killed the bot in just over 5 seconds, and Tara landed in the top 10. Gene does his same old dirty trick, but unfortunately, the homing and grabbing hand isn't all that handy when he's focused on one stationary target. He took a while and landed in 57th place. Max finally gets to relax and stand still now that reload speed doesn't matter. Her only goal is to occasionally refill her hypercharge for a 25% damage boost, which is quite handy when her super does 0 damage itself. Max ended up in 28th place. I promise I'm not lazy, but here's Mr. P's trial. The second bounce bogus stuff wasn't doing anything too big for him, so let's just roll this footage from the original video. He got in the top 10. Sprout, I swear, I tried, and I tried, and I tried. Nothing's happening to make this dude's trial any faster than it was previously. So here's another old clip. Sprout got 49th place. Byron gets a lot of help here with his booster shots from every attack that don't individually have reduced damage. He also gets supers so much faster, and this combination enables him to now beat the bot in under 20 seconds, and his new placement is 33rd out of 60. Ruffs technically gets just 1 more laser per attack. Kind of silly, but a buff is a buff. With the tri-beam and whatever else he may get from this, Ruffs places himself in 31st. Buzz's Wasabi power doesn't technically help him, but he's able to have a somewhat funny start to it all. He does the exact same thing he'd do without the Wasabi powers, and therefore got a similar time. Buzz lands himself in 46th place. Fang Fangs is almost a little too good here. The constant pressure he keeps is now improved with more supers, and his new time is 26.7 seconds. So he gets 42nd place. Eve, she had what Hank's having, kind of. I just wanted to maximize her counter crushes, you know? Anyways, she spawns a gazillion little hatchlings, and this puts her in 26th place out of all the brawlers. Gray's Wasabi power doesn't do anything. Absolutely nothing, right? I mean, I don't know. Those canes don't seem to want to hurt him. Gray took 58 seconds and got 56th place. Charlie gets so many creepy spiders to help her out with this one, and it was pretty fun, not gonna lie. All the extra little temporary attackers allowed Charlie to now beat the bot in 24 seconds, and her new time put her in 36th place. The only thing Lily's super would be good for is trick shotting. Aside from that, she's much better off just repotting herself over and over since it does a bit more damage. Unfortunately, her hypercharge slows her time down by eliminating her super recharge, so it was for the best that she avoids that. Lily got 39th place. Due to his slow reload speed, it's in Mo's best interest to return to mouse form after his drill runs out of ammo, since he can restore it all in just 2 regular attacks. Aside from that, there's not really any impact, besides the fact that formerly, I think Mo would just have the drill expire before it even ran out of ammo. Mo got 37th place. Juju's trial gave me good news and bad news. The bad news is, the Wasabi made her do no better. The good news? Size doesn't matter. Despite being massive, the new Gregory was still only as effective as the no Wasabi tiny counterpart, and so Juju got 47th place. Ollie's Wasabi power did nothing. He took 89 seconds and got 59th place. Sphinx's Wasabi power did nothing either. He took 28 seconds long and got 44th place. Jaeyoung's Wasabi power did nothing. But he wasn't even in the challenge last time, so here I'll actually talk. He wants to be in party mode because that's a whole lot more fun, but it is important to not use a super because that will eliminate his damage gear. Either way, this dude was confusing. He got 58th place. Spikes come out here in a higher quantity, making him quite a bit more effective. Thanks to this, he can spam between attacks and supers for the duration of his hypercharge before switching off to his gadget. After that, Spiky Poo wins already, and he gets in the top 10. Bro is naturally a legend here. The best he can do with his Wasabi power is launch 3 attacks that will return to the bot while he's in midair, doing just a tiny bit of more damage. This also helps him a tiny bit, and Crow gets in the top 10. Leon's Wasabi minions provide tremendous support to him, significantly enhancing his damage output. Once they're all on the ground, his new time becomes about 5 seconds, and he's now in the top 10. Amber, same thing, almost. She still does have to reload, but her initial 40 ammo does so much more. Now, she takes 13 seconds and ends up in 21st place. Meg, she could hypothetically do it from further away. That's it. So her sushi power doesn't do anything, and her time just got her in 30th place. Surge's new reload speed made him so much greater at this. Once the bot is pinned up on the wall, he does almost 10,000 damage every attack with like Edgar's reload speed, and it's magnificent. Surge places 18th out of the 60 brawlers. Draco's Wasabi power isn't really that much, but he's able to stay in dragon form the whole time anyways, and then his super just gives him a bit more ammo when he's already in dragon mode, so he ends up in 43rd place. Kenji now has essentially infinite ammo. I tried with and without a super, and with his super was a little bit faster, allowing him to finish in 25 seconds, which ultimately put him in 38th place. And starting from 10th, our leaderboard goes Tara, Spike, Leon, Tick, Crow, Mr. P, Colette, Shelly, Hank, and Bo. That's all I got.